Thinking about, since we're kind of doing some testing here, and I know that these are already paired into a group, if I bring these guys out of a standby mode, if you just do a quick press, it'll wake the units up, and what it'll do is it'll go through another GPS acquisition phase. So these guys have already been paired up. You can see it has Liam. This is for, of course, Mommy. And you can see the different groups that we already have in this particular subset. So what it'll do is it'll actually go back through, once it's paired, coming out of standby mode, it'll come back into acquiring GPS. I don't know if you can see this very clearly, but once it goes into the GPS acquisition, you'll see it'll bring up the actual distance from each one of the units. Now, some acquire quicker than others. Some do not. Also, I've noticed in just some real quick testing outside, the values are sometimes as much as 15 to 20 feet different. So for instance, if this says 45 feet from Liam, this one might say 60 feet from Liam. And even though they're in the exact same location. So I don't know what could be causing that, differences within the software. Maybe this one got moved during the GPS acquisition. Your best bet is to put them all close together, and once they start the GPS acquisition, don't move them. Even small changes in their relative position at baseline could affect how those things pair or how they calibrate the GPS function. So your best bet is to let them sit out under open sky. Don't move them. Once you start acquiring, you can see you have a status bar here, and any, I think, movement from there. So you can see right here the differences in the relative distance from each one of the units. We'll wait for this guy to come online and we'll see. So, and again, this could be just because I'm inside right now. I'm in an enclosed building. There's some calibration that needs to occur. Maybe once they sit out and get more GPS satellite signals, they are closer to accurate. But that's the one thing that I have noticed, is there is a bit of a discrepancy in distance. So if you're going to look for a particular individual, it's good to use the dot to try and find the general direction. But once you get within, say, 30 feet or so, you want to start actually looking around, looking up for whatever it is that you're looking for, the person or item or whatever it might be. So we'll go ahead and see what happens. Since we have these guys grouped, we'll just go ahead and do a quick test. We'll tell it to skip the group pairing and see what happens. And it looks like it really doesn't do too much. It looks like it'll just set a home location. So we'll set this guy here and see what happens. I'll let this run, and I'll come back when it gets close to acquiring a signal.